Hey guys, Dr. Rob here, and today we're going to talk about, are your female symptoms related to a breakdown in the HPO axis? HPO stands for hypothalamus, which sits in your brain, pituitary, which also sits in your brain, and O stands for ovaries. In endocrinology, when we talk about an axis, we simply talk about a pathway that glands signal back and forth to each other. So, are your female symptoms really a breakdown in this pathway someplace and not simply a thing that is related to aging or something along these lines? So here's how we know. First off, there's some specific symptoms. The first symptom is your body's going to be more pear-shaped, meaning you're going to have fat or weight that deposits around your hips, thighs, and buttocks. Second, you'll crave typically chocolate, sometimes salty chocolate, salty nut type of chocolate. You'll have hot flashes, night sweats, knee pain, but the knee pain or ankle pain will alternate from right to left, meaning 1 month it might be your right knee that aches, or the next month might be your left, or sometimes it's consistent, it's just one knee all the time, but there's usually knee pain, and that just has to do with a particular referral pattern between the ovaries and the knees. There can be anxiety, depression, that's unexplained. Like, people with an HPO axis dysfunction, they sometimes say, listen, Dr. Rob, I'm happy. I have a good life. I got a great husband. I got great kids. My life is good, but I just can't seem to get out of this funk. And the funk they're in is a breakdown in this axis. The next symptom is anxiety. So they're anxious, but there's not a specific reason. They're not anxious about the world, right? Not that there's nothing to be anxious about nowadays, but they're not anxious about a particular thing. They just feel anxious. They feel worried. They can't quite settle their body down, especially at nighttime. Sometimes their mind goes, they wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and they feel panicky, or they're having a hot flash and they feel panicky, right? So there's an anxiety connected to the breakdown in this. There's a darkening of facial hair, and there's sometimes estrogen dominance, meaning when we look at the production of estrogen over progesterone, there'll be too much estrogen versus progesterone. That in and of itself can cause thyroid problems. So sometimes a person's walking around with thyroid problems, they're on thyroid medication, and it's not really a thyroid problem, it's actually a breakdown in this HPO axis, this hypothalamus pituitary ovary axis. So that's some ways to identify if possibly that may be the cause of the symptoms you're having versus an actual thyroid problem or something else. And I hope that helps. See you next time.